the GFX100RF. Imagine 102 megapixels of glorious detail right there in your pocket. Hey there, photo friends. Welcome to Luminous-Landscape Photography. I'm Swindy, and today we're talking about what might just be the biggest camera announcement of 2025. In this video, I'll reveal the 5 most exciting features of this groundbreaking camera. And yes, I'll also share one tiny wish that I wish this camera had. Well, as you heard, those rumors are true. This camera is going to be sick. At X Summit in Prague, Fujifilm is unveiling something that photographers like you and me, we've been dreaming about a camera like this for years. The GFX100RF. Now, why am I absolutely buzzing with excitement? This camera brings together 2 worlds that weren't ever supposed to meet. Just imagine, for a second, having the resolution and image quality of a medium format camera in a body that you can take everywhere. This stunner right here packs 102 megapixels in its medium format sensor.
102 megapixels.
Yes. Into a body not much bigger than an X Pro 3. At $4,899, it's definitely expensive. But is it? It can almost do everything. I think this camera was going to change everything about everyday photography. I want this camera. Let me start with the details I'm most excited about. The camera size to sensor ratio just blows me away. Somehow, Fujifilm has managed to pack a medium format sensor, the same sensor as the sensor from the GFX100S2, with that BSI CMOS2 sensor. It's all in a body that weighs 735 grams. That's 1 pound 10 ounces with a battery and card. For perspective, that's lighter than an X-T5 with a zoom lens. Now, I haven't got my hands on this yet, but I can't wait to use it. I think it's actually small enough to put in your pocket. Now, this milled aluminum top plate, which is a first for Fujifilm, keeps that weight down while maintaining a structural rigidity. It's solid. Technically speaking, the size reduction of the camera is super impressive when you're realizing they're fitting a sensor with 1.7 times bigger than the surface area of a Fuji X Pro 3. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, more like Honey, I Shrunk the medium format camera.
I see what you did there. Good, huh? No.
It seems like every decision was focused on shrinking the camera, from the rangefinder style body down to the way the 35mm lens rear elements go into the back of the inside of the camera. Number 2, the versatility of this fixed lens. It may seem like a limitation, but this fixed lens is way more flexible than you think. It's a 35mm f4 lens, but thinking in full frame terms, that is the equivalent of a 28mm with a depth of field equivalent of a 3.2. Now, here's where this camera has a lot of potential. And a fixed lens may seem like a limitation on most cameras, but in reality, they've turned it into something pretty useful. The digital teleconverter lever they put on the back of the camera lets you instantly crop to 45mm, 63mm, and 80mm equivalent focal lengths. Those are the same focal lengths that they have for the GFX prime lenses. But here's the kicker. At 45mm, you're still working with how many megapixels? 62 megapixels. That's after the crop. That's like having a high-end full-frame camera with prime lenses. You've got the choices right there. Unfortunately, that crop mode does not translate into the video mode, which is F-Log 2 and not F-Log 3. But for photography, you have some megapixels to play with there. And they included an aspect ratio dial, which is a nice touch. That lets you quickly switch between 7 different aspect ratio formats. including the new 6:17 panoramic ratio. There's an old Ansel Adams quote, "If you have more than one lens, you'll always have the wrong lens. If you only have one lens, you always have the right lens." So this camera, it really embraces that philosophy while still giving you so much flexibility in post. The third exciting feature combines two things that make this camera so versatile: the leaf shutter and the built-in ND filter. Unlike focal plane shutters found in most cameras, the leaf shutter allows flash synchronization at any shutter speed, all the way up to 1/4000th of a second. So photographers who work with studio strobes and portable flashes, this opens up possibilities that don't exist with most shutters. This style of mechanism usually produces less vibrations than a focal plane shutter, so in theory you could lead to sharper images. Now paired with that shutter is the built-in 4 stops of built-in ND. That lets you shoot wide open at f4 in bright conditions, or it helps you slow the shutter down for some creative motion effects, all without carrying separate filters. I think that's very cool. You can use those NDs in the video mode too. Together, these features give you such creative freedom, all while keeping this small. So fourth on my list has to be the extraordinary image resolution and the creative looks. The 102 megapixel sensor delivers files with incredible detail and dynamic range. They say they've extended the dynamic range 30% compared to previous models. That's what they're saying. This has a base ISO of 80 for maximum quality. The larger photo size on this medium format sensor means better light gathering capabilities with very little noise. It's going to be great in low light situations. I'm hearing that you can shoot at ISO 3200 without even thinking about it. That's what they say. And all of those 20 of those Fujifilm beloved film simulations are included. From classic chrome to classic negative, Eterna to Acros. You're getting 16-bit RAW files for huge flexibility in post. The camera includes 7 custom presets where you can program from C1 to C7, and you can access all those in the Q menu, and you can even name them your specific custom film recipes. So we're going to see a whole lot more film recipes that you can put into your camera and just dial up when you're ready. Want a specific look for street versus portraits? Set them up once and switch between those instantly just by the dial. Having this level of medium format quality combined with Fujifilm's color science is so awesome. You're getting huge resolution and creative flexibility in a camera that, once again, you're going to want to carry everywhere because it's small. All right, complete package. The fifth exciting feature is how Fujifilm has made this a complete package. Out of the box. No extras needed. It's unlike other cameras, even earlier Fujifilms, where accessories were sold separately. The GFX100RF comes with everything you need. The lens hood, an adapter ring, protective filter, and I think two lens caps, and a shoulder strap, of course. I'm sure it says Fujifilm all over it. And when you attach the included 49mm filter, the entire camera becomes weather resistant. Also to mention, the battery life, it's impressive. 820 shots per charge, which is a lot more than the GFX100S2. The dual UHS-2 card slots gives you backup options, and the USB-C port supports power delivery and external SSDs. It's good to see a camera that feels ready to go straight out of the gate. So for whatever a photographic adventure you have in mind, it's ready to go. Now, one tiny wish. and this is being very nitpicky, if you will. I'd love to see the minimum focus distance get a little bit closer than 20 centimeters for the sensor plane. Don't get me wrong, for a 28mm equivalent lens, 20 centimeters is pretty reasonable. And for street photography and landscapes, it's more than accurate, more than adequate. But I have a feeling there'll be times I'm going to want to get closer than I can. Okay, there's one other wish. Because I'm a resolution hog, there's no pixel shift function for even more resolution. That's not possible because this camera does not have IBIS. But that's just me being nitpicky. You know, I can't have it all, can I? Well, maybe I can. The GFX100RF is gonna be awesome. It's a perfect blend of size with cutting edge, huge resolution, with so much flexibility in post that it can handle almost any photographic situation. Is it worth $4,899? Well, if you've ever considered medium format but been putting it off by its size and complexity, this is your gateway. It's way cheaper than buying a GFX100S2 with a lens, and it's so portable. It's actually going to be able to fit in your jacket pocket. So, would you consider adding a fixed lens medium format camera to your kit? Let us know down below in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe to Luminous-Landscape. For more in-depth photography content, we also have a newsletter and a photo magazine with detailed technical analysis, photographer interviews, and an incredible archive of photography wisdom going back decades. I'll be doing a full review of this when I get my hands on this camera, because I'm gonna get this camera in my hands and put it through its paces. So make sure you've subscribed and have notifications turned on. I'm Swindy saying, stay luminous, stay bright, and find that perfect light. Take care, y'all.